Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm going to try to get through this one pretty quickly. Quick look at my journal here. I traded two evaluation accounts, 50K accounts. One was an Apex account, the other was my Fund of Futures account. I'm just going to show you the ones from Apex. But this kind of took two trades this morning. I traded NZD and also not ES. I traded NQ or MNQ. So put that out there. And so just briefly go over this one here. NQ was 9:50 a.m., 10 a.m. macro basically. It was a winner for 20 points. Again, using 10 micros or one full contract. So right around $400. I think it ended up being like $380. My exit point, and pretty straightforward. And I'll go over briefly the forever model setup I had. I'll just go through the chart. So the other trade here was on the 15-minute New Zealand dollar futures chart. Pretty simple, pre-market, pre-New York Stock Exchange open. So right around 9 a.m. I was looking at the chart. There's this 4-hour fair value gap, that untapped fair value gap that got tapped right at 5 a.m. Created that order block and close above, right? Close above and a pullback. So right around 9 a.m. is when I started looking at this right here. And I placed a buy stop entry right on that. That candle took me in with zero drawdown and went 1.35 bar. So it was only one micro, so it was only $135. But anyway, with the trade on NASDAQ, put me right at 1% on the valuation account for the Apex anyway. My Fund of Futures, I only took one trade, which was a duplicate of this one. Where is it? Back here. The wrong chart. Right here. The only difference for the My Fund of Futures was I used 5 micros instead of 10. So I'll quickly run through this one. Right at 9 a.m. I pulled up the 1-hour chart. Trying to get, into the habit of trying to figure out things on my own as far as liquidity levels and direction and things. I'm not going to do replay, but everything prior to this candle here, so everything prior to 9 a.m. was what I was looking at or working with. And the only real two things that really caught my attention, well, a couple things actually, mainly was this fair value gap, which had already got tapped into, but it wasn't fully mitigated, I guess. It just went, kind of almost to halfway, not quite. So I still had that as a draw on liquidity or draw on price. Also, this was, the previous session. It was really the opening of the week high. But I really wasn't paying attention to that one that much. Mostly I was interested in if I drop down to the 15 minutes. I marked out this high here. Excuse me. This high right here. And this low right here. So it was basically looking at those two levels when I was on the 1 minute and 30-second chart. So to go back to market open or 9:30, I did not take a trade at 9:30, even though there was valid setup. The opening New York Stock Exchange open strategy or entry model is a fair value gap continuation by Riley Trades. I'll put a link in the description for his YouTube channel. It's pretty consistent. So anyway, 9:34. So the first 5-minute candle here swept this low. So at that point I was long. Hop down to the 30-second. Oops, that's a 15-second. I hopped down to the 30-second, and I'll just quickly go over what I saw. So right away, we got this bullish engulfing candle, so it's pretty bullish. Right out, looking at that, I'm just bullish. And we started I think we had a small gap here. I don't think I even saw that at the time. Mostly what I was looking at was this getting inversed. I think is really what caught my attention. So I'm bullish, and I saw this fair value gap right here get inversed, and then I was like, okay, I'm really looking for a regular fair value gap, a bullish fair value gap to trade out of. Obviously, it pulled back after the first 15-minute opening range got set. Pulled back, created another bearish fair value gap. But again, it was long. I didn't want to go short, which was a good decision because we got this candle here, which wasn't, well, it did inverse that fair value gap. And it also created its own fair value gap, which actually I was waiting for price to come back into. Obviously did not. Once we got this candle came as far down as here, but didn't touch the fair value gap and closed above, that's where I hopped in basically. Because I just didn't think it was going to come back anymore, and took it for 20 points. That was the trade, and that's all I took today. Trying to do a little bit better on my frequency of trades, and just try to do something different rather than continue to trade and just lose money or lose profit. So I'm just going to settle with the 20 points. I'm going to start doing more with these 1-to-1. Maybe if there's a sort of a insight into a trend day, then I might hold a runner. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's all I got today. Thanks for watching. Take care.